Hi, and welcome to my tutorial on 5 tips to use Google Slides for learning. As I go through each of these tips, I'm going to share with you some examples from my own classroom, so I hope you find them helpful. Tip number 1 is to use Google Slides to design unit plans. So some examples of that I can share with you. We've got number 1 is a unit on the People's Republic of China. This was obviously a history unit. And how it works is really simple. Each slide is a lesson or an activity. As you go through, you can assign it to students. Slides 9 through 11 are for today, and that way students can look ahead. They can go back and review. And then another great option with Google Slides is in the presenter notes, you can leave any resources they might need to complete the activity. So if they need a link to a YouTube documentary or a hyperdoc, you can post it there. With Google Slides, another great feature for designing unit plans is that you can collaborate, right? Because multiple people can be editing this in real time. So if individual teachers need to go in and tweak something, anyone can edit it at any time. Here's an example with human rights. And once again, whenever the students need a resource to complete an activity, I leave it down below in the presenter notes for them. Okay, tip 2 is to encourage collaboration. Because you can edit these in real time, Google Slides is great for teamwork. So for this activity, I put students in Zoom breakout rooms and I had them go through and just discuss each slide and really think about the different prompts and post examples of their learning or some of their ideas. So what this turned out looking like is right here, once it's been filled in by students. This shows you how you can use Google Slides for teamwork. Another example of collaboration on Google Slides, this is an activity I created on the Bill of Rights. And each slide, the group would simply discuss the scenario and then fill in the boxes on the right. Tip 3 for using Google Slides is to assign individual tasks. So it's great for showing students work and their learning. An example of that, I had students look through the Time 100 most significant photos of the 20th century, and they had to create a short slideshow on the 3 most significant photos, in their opinion. So here's what that looks like. This was another student, and it's just a quick way to show what they've learned or what their thoughts are. Another example is to have students pretend that they're the professor or teacher. So for this one, I had them design, if you were a professor and you were going to do a lecture, what would the slides look like that would go along with your lecture? So this is the accompaniment, and short, sweet, well-designed. And let's see, one final example for Google Slides for individual work would be taking a timeline and elevating it by putting in some more visual details. When students use Google Slides, they really get to highlight their design skills. So here's what a timeline would look like when designed by students. All right, tip 4 is to integrate with other digital tools. So when you have a great Google slideshow, you can then upload it to either Pear Deck or Nearpod. And the way that these websites work is they turn it into a live lesson. So you can actually see where students are at, what slide they're on, or you can set the pace. You can build in checkpoints, questions. I mean, they have features like moving a pin on a map or putting questions or polls into the slideshow. So these are great. And then my final tip for using Google Slides, tip number 5, is to take advantage of templates. So educators, we do not have to reinvent the wheel. Every time you use the slideshow, I'm sure there's one out there that would match what you're looking for. So for this, I like to use Slides Carnival. This is a great resource with hundreds of templates. Slides Go is another great resource. They have so many different types of slideshows, and I'll be honest, a lot of them look much better than anything I could design. Some of them are more creative, more colorful. Some are more maybe formal, professional looking. So there really is something for everyone. All right, thank you so much for watching. These were my 5 tips to use Google Slides for learning, and I hope that you feel comfortable maybe incorporating some of this into your daily learning experiences as well. Thank you.